my channel. If you're new, I'm Kiarna Jayne, and make sure you subscribe to join the tribe. Today we're back with another Let's Talk episode, and I'm going to be talking all about the concept of failure and why I believe it does not exist. You have not failed yet because failure doesn't exist. We have created the concept of failure to describe situations and scenarios where it looks like something hasn't worked, where it looks like something hasn't happened yet, where it looks like nothing is progressing. But let me tell you, failure is just a false concept. Failure really doesn't exist. If, failure existed, we would never accomplish or complete anything. Just because you haven't got the client yet doesn't mean you're not going to get the client. Just because your business hasn't, reached a certain goal yet doesn't mean it's not going to reach it. And just because you haven't found a purpose yet, or just because you haven't got that raise or that promotion yet, doesn't mean you're not going to get something else. Failure doesn't exist. We just keep going. We just have to keep going. And we don't exercise one time in our life and expect to get the ideal body or the ideal weight. It just doesn't work like that. We don't exercise one time and then look at ourselves and see no progress and then be like, oh, I failed. It just doesn't work like that. We have steps to accomplishing what we want, and just because something hasn't manifested yet doesn't mean that we failed at manifesting. There's a process to everything. A caterpillar, for example, it goes through a process to become the butterfly. Just because it's the caterpillar at the moment doesn't mean it's failed. It goes through the process of then becoming the butterfly. We don't have instant success, even though it may look like it, and even though sometimes you see us talk about, or you see people talking about their successful manifestations, or someone's business, they just earned 6k in a month and it looks like instant manifestation. You're not seeing what's going on behind the scenes. You're not seeing the inner work that people are doing. You're not seeing the failures they've had to get to where they are now. And so you have not failed yet. In fact, you are not failing at all. You are on the process. You are on your journey. Keep going. We stop so often just before we reach our breakthrough, so we never see it. So it looks like we have failed, but in actual fact, we're not failing at all. We are so close. You just have to keep going. Failure does not exist. I remember hearing about a book. I think it's called Chicken Soup for the Soul. And I remember hearing about the author trying to get it published, and they couldn't get it published. And I think they tried over 100 times. Now imagine trying to publish a book over 100 times and you're getting rejected. That's what people see as failure. But once this book had finally found the right company for publishing, this book took off. This book had huge success. Now if that author had decided that he had failed and therefore had decided to not continue and push for his dream and work towards his final outcome, and if he had believed in failure, that book would not have been published. He would not have got that success. Only because he decided to, completely demolish his idea of failure did he then get what he ultimately was wanting and what, his ultimate desire was. You are not failing because failure doesn't exist. Continue to do what you feel called to do. Continue to work, continue to strive for that ultimate goal. Thank you so much for watching this video. Keep going, you are not failing.